Welcome to the new video of the video series ROS2 Basics. This video, we are going to talk about ROS2 nodes, how to write them, how to create publisher and subscriber, but all the basic stuff. Not going to go in detail with all the intricacies and all the things that is with the ROS nodes, but just mainly the basic stuff. Okay, so let's get started with the coding part first. But as you can see here, what I'm using currently is Visual Studio Code. You can use any Python compiler, whatever, or any Python IDE, whatever is more comfortable with you, you can use it. Main thing is about syntax, and if you know it, all good. What you see in front of me is package number one. Now, this package we made already in one of our previous videos. So if you haven't made this package so far, just go in one of these videos in the previous playlist, in this playlist, some of the previous videos, and then you will find this, how to create this own custom packages. For now, we have created this package, and in this, what I'm going to do is inside the source folder itself, I'm going to create a new file called as test node.py. This is going to be my first um, it's going to be my first Python file, just creating it. Now, how many of you guys are aware about a quaternions? If you don't know about what are quaternions, then it's easy that it is to determine the orientation of any object in a 3D space. So you have Cartesian coordinate and then you have a quaternion. So you have four variables for it. Now, I am taking this four variable quaternion such that it is much easier for me to explain later on the message types and everything, right? So for now, you should just know that quaternions is four different variables that can determine the orientation of any object. Keep that in mind, and let's move forward with that information. So in quaternion, I'm gonna give x is equal to 1. I'm gonna give y is equal to 2. I'm gonna give z is equal to 3, and I'm gonna give w is equal to 3 as well. Now, this is important for you to know. Sorry, maybe just 1, right? Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say print, sorry, print x, y, z, w. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna write here the code. Oh, wait, no, this because that's not the right one. Test node. Now, if you see here, if I run this code, Python code, then you will see it's exactly displaying me the values. So our first code is ready. Now, how do you convert this into a node and try to publish this information outside your node? That is an important part, right? So now let's first start by importing the ROS Python library. So I'm just going to import a ROS Python library. This is the one, and you have this. So this is going to be different if you're using C++, right? So it should be RCLP, sorry, RCLCCP, CPP, something like that. But this is for the ROS Python library only. So once you import the ROS Python library, you need to initiate the ROS Python library. So for that, you need to write rclpy.init and just say this one. Now, after that, you need to define this as a name of some you need to give this node some name, right? So first of all, just define a variable. This is not the name of your node, just a variable that you can use in the code itself. But the naming or the name of the node that other people will be using, will be defining it right now. So node is equal to the library dot create node, and then what you want to give inside is the name of the node, right? My first node. Cool. Now you have created your first code node, and then I say save. Now I try to run it. Nothing changes because we haven't done anything. We have just defined it as a node, right? Now, if I want to see that is this node active, or is it making any changes or not? What I'm going to do is I'm going to write another like so okay, from the blank, right? You have created your first node, right? Now to understand, now to even know if it exists, you need to you need to have another node which is trying to communicate with it and trying to see if this node really exists, right? Um, but so that would mean that do we write a new code for it? Maybe. Oh, this is some bullshit. Wait. Ah, sorry. Okay. So if I want to really know if this node is really working, I need another node to communicate with it. And this is an important part. But so in this case, what will you do? Can you think about it? Obviously, we can write another code for it and try to detect if this node exists. But there is also one more way we can create a temporary node. This temporary node is mainly for testing purposes only. That you create this temporary node, you try to talk with it, you try to publish, subscribe to this node, and you see if this node really exists or not. To see the survivability of the node. So how do you create this temporary node? Sorry to interrupt you right there, but my overlay, this round circular overlay was hiding one of the terminals. That's why whatever I wrote in the terminal itself was not clear. So I'm just gonna shoot that small section and let's get back to the previous video. So where were we? We wanted to now create a temporary node, right? So what you see right here that we have already run our this code and it gives us this value, right? Now, when I want to create a temporary node, what I will do, there is a function. So first of all, there are a couple of functions. So you start with ROS2 because currently we are dealing with ROS2. We say ROS2, then we say, or maybe we double tap. And now when I say double tap, I will get many options. We have packages, we have parameters, we have node, we have extension points, doctor, and so on and so forth. But right now we want to concentrate on the node, right? So we say node, and then again I press tab, right? So I press tab. Now you see there are two things such as info and list, right? So in this case, what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say list and I'm gonna see, okay, it's not listing me anything. What does that mean? So no node ROS node is active, right? But at this point of time, we already created a node, so this node should be active, right? But if you see, my code is not running anymore. If it was running, if this code was running, then my node was active. If my code stops, then my node stops as well. So, how can I do it? So if I run it again, it is going to close anyway. So now we want to kind of uh, uh, write something in a way that my code always runs. So there is a specific command in ROS itself called as ROS spin. So we just use this rclpy dot spin, and then you name the node of the name of the node itself. So the variable that you use to create the node itself, you use that one. So in this case, what this will do, this command will do is it will keep the node active, right? It will not just execute it. It will keep the node active as long as you don't press Control C in the terminal itself, right? So now I go and I check here and I print. And now if you see here, my node is not closing anymore. My code is not closing anymore. It's giving me the output definitely, but now it's still running in the background, right? So now I say this again, and now you will see that my node is there. My first node is active. It's present there, right? Now there is also one more thing that we saw, right? ROS2 node, and then we had list and info, right? Info. Let's say info, and now you need to mention the name of the node. So I say my first node. Now I will increase this up a little bit. So now you see that it is kind of giving me the info of my node, right? So what is the info of my node? This is the name of my node, and this is the subscriber. So if you see there are no subscribers because we haven't written any subscribers yet, or we're not subscribing to anything else, yeah, anything yet. What about publisher? We are getting parameter events and we are getting ROS out. So there are two topics. There are two topics which are currently active. Now, this topic will be active by default whenever you create a new node, even if you don't define any publisher, because at this point of time, we have not created any publisher or created any subscriber in this case. But still, you see there are two topics in publisher. So this publisher is kind of publishing two different topics, but right now we haven't created any of them. So for now, you just ignore these two. They are used mainly for different reasons when you have multiple nodes. At that time, for different nodes to understand what change or what parameter change in each of the nodes. I think they can publish to the same topic and then everybody else can read it. That was the main purpose. But for now, it does not has to be in our syllabus for now. We will talk about that later on. For now, just imagine this does not exist and publisher is zero. Subscriber and publisher both are zero at this point of time. And then for this one as well, action, services, clients, everything again for the future. For now, what is important is when I say info node, it should mention me what are the different subscribers I have written and what are the different publishers I have, right? Okay, I think that's it. Let's get back to the old video. Now, let's try to create our first let's try to create a publisher out of this node. Now I want to publish this 1231 value outside to someone else who might be requiring it, right? So I want to now publish this value outside. So for that, first of all, what I need to do is I need to create a publisher. For that, I will just create a variable name as publisher and say publisher, and the name of the node dot, and then say create publisher underscore publisher. So now in that, what are the different parameters that you have to give in? Is first, the parameter that you want to give in is the message type. Now this is an important thing to understand, or maybe this might take some time for you to understand. The first thing what you want to mention here is the message type. What are the message type in which you are clubbing your information and giving it outside, right? This is quaternions. I want to give out the quaternions to other nodes, right? So how will I do it? Or is there a message type which already can give out quaternions? So the answer is yes, there is. So for now, there is a simple there is a simple code which is ROS2 again, and in this case, I'm just gonna say interface, and then you have many options you have. Then you say show, and then you have 251 possibilities. I'm just gonna say yes for now. I'm gonna maximize this. Show. So then you have multiple things, right? So you have so many different message types over here. And if you see here, then you have this one, quarter geometry messages quaternion, right? So this is important for us. So I'm just gonna say show geometry messages, and then you have what was it, quaternion, and press enter. Now you can see here that the in this message type you have float 64, which is the data type, and then you have X, which is by default, it is default to 0. Then you have, if you don't mention anything or if you don't give it a value, then it is kind of default to 000 and 1. So currently this message type has a variable X, Y, Z, and W, and then you mention here the so by default it is this one, but you can mention it whatever name or whatever different values you want. But for now, you need to understand that geometry messages message quaternion is a message type, and in that message type you have four variables, and these variables we are going to use, and then this message type itself you are going to use to publish the data through your node, right? So now let's go back here, and first we need to import this message type, right? So from we imported it from geometry messages dot message import what was it, quaternion. Yeah, there you go. So now you have imported the quaternions message type from the geometry messages.message. And then I'm going to mention this. The first is the data type, which I'm going to transfer my information from. So when you're creating a publisher, you need to understand also the topic that it is going to use. You need to mention the message type, and this is my message type. Then the name of the topic that you want to publish in. So what is the topic name that you want to mine? You can just mention my first publisher, right? And then you mentioned the queue size. Now what is the meaning of queue size is that it when you are kind of publishing the data, it is usually not just one time you publish the data. There are like multiple instances where you are publishing the data, and when you're publishing the data in multiple instances, that time 10 is the value of how many queues it can store before it discards the oldest value. right? So for now, if you don't understand this, for now, just keep it as 10 so that you just get it started, and then you can slowly try to understand this properly. So for now, I'm keeping this as 10. But now I want to define these values somehow in these format, in quaternion message type format. So how do I do that? Is first go here. Then, for example, I'm gonna first create an instance of quaternion, right? So in that, I'm just gonna say, give it a name D, right? D is equal to um, quaternion. Oh, wait, yeah, quaternion, and that's it. Now I have created D as an instance of a quaternion. So now, if you see here, or if you see here, now I can say D dot X, D dot Y, and D dot Z, and D dot W. So I can say D dot X, sorry, maybe I just do like this. I mention D dot X is equal to this one, then D dot Y is equal to this one, D dot Z, and D dot W, right? And obviously this won't make sense, so I'm just gonna remove this for now, right? And what I'm gonna do is, now you want to publish this value, right? You want to publish this value outside to a topic called as my first publisher, my first publisher topic. Let's name it that one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is name of the publisher itself, the variable that you have used here, dot publish, and then in that you just write the instance that you have defined, D. Sorry, D. Oh, come on, sorry, my bad. So in publisher dot publish, and then you mention inside the name of the node that you want to publish in. Am I missing something out? Oh wait, no, you don't mention the node name. You mention the message type, so you just mention D over here, right? So now what this code is going to do is, it's going to create a node called as my first node. It's going to create a publisher called as it's going to create a publisher basically, and this publisher, what is going to do is, it's going to publish to a topic called as my first publisher topic. And what is going to publish? The message type quaternion. So as we have defined it already over here, and then D is, it's publishing it. So now let's go and try to run this code again, and then you see that there is a problem. Now, there is a problem. The reason why we get this problem is because the way I have defined this is, so when we see the quaternary, it is supposed to be float 64, right? So when the value is a float value, that means it has a decimal in it, and over here I haven't defined it as a decimal. So that's why it is determining this as an integer. So for just the sake of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mention this as point 0, point 0, and point 0. Save. And now it should work. Yeah. Now if you see that it is publishing, my row node is active, and now, but as I said, I'm not printing anything, so it won't really give me anything. But my node is active, and it is now publishing this quaternion value. So now let's, through our temporary node, try to read or try to subscribe to this topic. So from this node, I'm going to subscribe to this topic so I can see what this publisher is publishing to this topic. So now you get the hang of it. ROS2 topic list. And now you can see here, when I say topic list, I see different topics which are out. So these two are already, as I mentioned, these are the oh wait, you can't see the, wait, maybe I do with this one. Yeah, okay, because I think I forgot that you cannot see because of this overlay. So when I say ROS2 topic list, I will see all the different topics which are currently active in this scenario. So as you already know that parameter events and ROS out are by default two topics which your node already starts publishing whenever it has created a different nodes. The main reason why these two nodes are active because they by default give some debugging values or some parametric changes values. So when you have a big bunch of different nodes which are working together, they all can publish to the same topic, and everybody then knows what are the different changes that happens in different nodes at a given point of time. That's why this node exists, but for now you don't have to think about it. For now you just mention that okay, they are by default, and then forget about it. But the main important thing what you want to understand is that my first publisher topic is now active. All right, now we want to read what this topic is publishing, right? So now I say ROS2 topic, uh, then I say echo, because now echo is like just you read out whatever. So basically you're subscribing to this topic. Echo what exactly? So okay, it's not giving me anything, but I can mention the name of my topic, my first publisher topic, and then I see that there is nothing. Even if my code is running, I have nothing to publish because it just published it once, right? Now I'll just keep this tab active. Wait, uh, I'll just keep this active, and okay. Okay, so now you see here, I'm gonna run this again. So I'm gonna run this code again, and my echo is still active, right? I'm gonna echo this, and if you see here right now, what you hear is that it is echoed once, only once, right? It has echoed only once, but after that there is no other echoing. So it's not publishing again and again and again. It's just publishing once, right? So I close this again, and then I run this again, and then it is publishing again, right? Now I change the value here. For example, I say here 5, I say here 7, I say here. Now by no means these values are valid for quaternions. Please don't get me started with the whole quaternion things. They're way too complex to understand. But for now, just for the sake of how you're delivering these messages, right? So I've now changed the values. I will close this, and I will first save this and run this code again. Now, if you see here, now I have updated changes. So now my topic is publishing different values. So now by this, what you have created is using this one, you are kind of how do you call it? You are creating a node, then you're publishing the node, publishing a topic using it. Maybe I do uh, now over here, right? Okay, that makes much more sense for me, to be honest, right? ROS2 node. Now, again, do the same thing. I mean, it's nothing bad to always repeat the things, right? Yeah. So now you can see here exactly that I've created a node, and I've written some variables here, and now it's kind of publishing this variable using this quaternion to the topic called as my first publisher topic. And now using my temporary node which I've created, I'm trying to now read this messages using this command, which is ROS to topic echo. So echo is basically to understand or to read out anything that is this topic is giving me. So now in this way you have created a publisher, and you have now also subscribed to that publisher. Now So now we have created a publisher. Now let's create a subscriber. Now let's get subscription as well, like subscription services as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this one for now. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a subscriber. It's going to subscribe to a topic, and then using this one. So I'm going to create a subscription that is going to subscribe to a topic, and using this terminal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish to that topic. So now this node will listen to it, and I think that's going to be something to see. So now let's first create our subscriber. Oh, come on. Subscriber is equal to node dot create subscription, and then you mention the name of again you mention the name of the data type, right? Then you need to mention the name of the topic you want to subscribe to. So my first subscription outcome, and then yeah, you need to mention the again again I think the queue size, and then you need to what no not here, mention the queue size again, and you need to mention also the callback function, which is maybe you mention the callback function first, callback, and then you mention this value. Now obviously this is gonna be showing me something weird because there is no callback function defined yet, so I'm gonna define the callback function. You'll understand why I have created this one. Okay, now what is this whole thing, right? So first of all, it is important to understand that okay, you have created a message type, so this is the message type that it will subscribe with. Then you are creating the first subscription. This is the topic that it is going to subscribe from, and then you're creating the callback function. So when it subscribes to this topic, what to do with that data? When you get the data, then what you do with that data is then mentioned in this callback function, right? Okay, so now for now, what we have created is a subscription subscriber for our node, right? So in this case, what is happening is over here we are mentioning again the data type, the message type. Then we are mentioning the topic where we are subscribing it from. Then we are mentioning the callback function. So when somebody like when some data comes to a subscriber, right? That time what the data needs to do, that needs to be mentioned through the callback, and then the 10 is basically the keyword. This is the quality of service. For now, let's keep it um, uh, like let's just mention it as it is, and then we talk about it in the next couple of videos, right? So now we have mentioned the subscribers. Now I say save. I try to run this again, uh, and now I say ROS2 topic. No. Wait. Node list. Okay, that's good. ROS2 node info and my first node. Now you go here and you see that there is, but in the previous there was a no subscriber at all, right? So in this case, but now you see that there is a subscriber with a message type which is mentioned over here, and there is a publisher as well. So this is your publisher, which you have mentioned it here, and this is your subscriber, yeah, which you have mentioned it here, right? So now you have created your first subscription. But in this case, what you want to do is you want to make some sense out of your. I'm gonna clear this also. Stop it. Stop it and clear this. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to whatever data comes in, I want to mention it in a form of a text or something, right? So let's say the callback function is whatever data that comes in is in a form of a data, right? So it's any variable, you can mention it anything, right? So when it's here, then you go like this and you say data dot x, because again it's a quaternion, right? So data dot x is equal to 1, sorry, uh, x is equal to data dot x, then y is equal to data dot y, z is equal to data dot z, w is equal to data dot w, and come on, right? Now what I'm going to do is print here, right? Now let's say you run this code, there is no error, that's good. Now you say ROS2 node, sorry, not node. What you want to publish, what you want to do is first you want to publish to this topic now, right? So now you say ROS2 and you say topic, the name of the topic, and then you have multiple options here, and this you have this called as publisher. So now in this case, not instead of echoing something, you're publishing it, right? So you say publish, pub, and then it will show you different things such as publish to what exactly. And in that case, you want to say my first subscriber. So, and this is the topic that you want to now publish in, right? Now, what you want to publish in is, um, if you see here, there is nothing more value, but you will see that there is something here. You want to publish the quaternion value, right? So you say here, mention here GEO, geometry messages quaternion, and you press a double tap. In this case, this is what you want. I say X and I say tab again. Now, in this case, this is kind of, I've used kind of a tab to understand what exactly I wanted to have, but now you understand this, like ROS2 topic, publish the name of my topic, then the message type that I want to publish in, and then in that if I double tap, I get multiple options here that keep alive and all these things, but at the end you get one of these options, which is like, oh, I want to mention the name of that different variables, right? So now over here I will go and probably change here this to 3, change this to 2, and change this to 1, 2 as well. Anyways, doesn't matter. And I press enter. Oh, something. Don't send. ROS2 has stopped. Maybe I need to check this one. Okay, so I found out the error. That was a very syntactical error. So if I go here, right now, whatever syntax that I got directly from tap was not really valid over here. So if I go here, if I see here, ROS2 topic publish to the name of the subscription, then you have the geometry messages, but also then you have these different syntaxes. So you have these colon, not colon, sorry, inverted comma, and then you have X is equal to the values of it, right? So you can now give it any value, whatever you want. And then when I say enter, then you will see that it's kind of publishing the values, like, because it's kind of publishing it again and again and again. And now it is publishing to this topic. When now this is getting this topic, then it is calling this callback, and now it's kind of printing this thing for me. So when I stop this one, Wait, when I stop this one, and I stop it, then also this thing also stops, right? This thing also stops. Now I go again, I change this to 5, and again, I will see that now it's publishing 5 per W. So now, in this way, we have successfully created a node. We have created a publisher. We have published it through the external. We tried to read it, so subscribe to it using echo, and then created a subscriber. Using the terminal, we published something, like we published the quaternion values using this command, and then when we do that, we have created a callback function through which now we're getting these values and trying to do something out of it. Now obviously your main code or whatever, that when you subscribe, when you get this data from outside from different nodes, you have to do something with it. All of these should be mentioned over here. For now I've just created a print function so that you know what to do with this and how to deal with these variables in the first place. Anyways, I think that is it for this video. I think this video might have got a little bit longer, but I think this was one of the most important videos because this is more or less the roots of how ROS2 functions, because then you know how the different nodes and how different of these variables they work with each other, how they publish, subscribe, and all these things. Anyways, it was fun video. It was in the nature, so I really loved making such video outside of my comfort zone. So it was really nice to be publishing this. Anyway, see you in the next one.